Today we are going to see JSON functions and what is meant by JSON. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by JSON? So JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. So it is nothing but, in other words, it is a scripted data. It is a scripted data. Okay, it is a scripted data. That means the format is like JSON script. So in order to handle JSON data, that means JSON type of data, we use some JSON functions. So I will list out all the JSON functions which we use, and we will see in detail. So first one, JSON object, JSON object, JSON object aggregate, JSON array, JSON array aggregate. Okay, JSON object, JSON object aggregate, JSON array, JSON array aggregate. Along with this, we will also see JSON equal function. Okay, we'll also see JSON equal function. Okay, so before going in detailed with JSON functions, okay, first of all, we will see how the JSON data looks with some sample examples. Okay, so I will show you some sample scripts data of JSON. So I will show you some sample data of JSON. The first one, ename and hot. So this is what this is a simple JSON document. So we will call it as this formatted data. We call it as document. So how the JSON data looks is, this is a sample example. Okay, and I will also show you one more example. So there are different formats in JSON. So here what we see, label with respect to value. So how the JSON document looks, label with respect to value. So that is the format of JSON. So not only single value, the document may also contain multiple values. For example, Miller, Arjun. So this is what? This is also a one sort of JSON document. In this, we see one label with multiple values. Okay. Not only like this, even JSON document contain multiple labels and multiple values. So for example, I will show you one sample of JSON document with multiple labels. So here see multiple labels. This is what? One label, one parent label followed by multiple labels and multiple values. Yeah. Okay, and this set is kept in square bracket. So this is also one example of how the JSON data looks. Okay, I have shown you a simple JSON document with a label and a value, and with a label and multiple values, and with multiple labels and values. It can be any sort of this. Okay, we will go into build normal data table to bring into a JSON document. So we will start building normal table data into a JSON data. How we can do it? So for this, I'm simply taking our employee table, which we regularly use. So in this, I am just taking employee name column. So select employee name from EMP. Okay, so this is my data in employee name column. I will bring this entire data into JSON format. So now we are going to see one function, how they are useful. Coming to JSON argument. In order to build JSON, in order to build JSON document, we use the basic function called JSON object. So how we build it, how we write it, see. Select first function, JSON underscore object. So in this, so here we need to mention which one you want to show as a label. So I want to show employee name column. So like this way it is going to show, because I kept in quotes exact label how I have represent, that only it will show. Okay, here I need to mention value must be employee name column data. Okay, so simply alias name I am giving as JSON document, and from which table I want fetching the data employee name, from employee table. So what I have written, select JSON object, the label name, value followed by the column name from, so with a alias name from employee table. Now see how the normal employee name data gets turned into a JSON document by using which function? JSON object. So this is what? This is a basic function which is used to build JSON document. Okay. Now coming to the next function, JSON object aggregate. Then what is the use of JSON object aggregate? So if we want to get a list of label value pairs, we use JSON object. So how it will see? First I will say the example, then we will explain it. I will explain it. So now how we write the JSON object aggregate? Same as, see, now we are going to mention again here in a object aggregate also, you are mentioning the label name, value followed by the column name from the employee table. Now in place of JSON object, I wrote JSON object aggregate. So what happened? All the data earlier it's shown in multiple rows, but now in one row I got entire data. Is it? So here see what happened. I got entire label values in a comma separation. Is it? In a array. That means object aggregation will give you all the values, all the column values in a single row. Got it? So this is about usage of object aggregate. So what is the syntax? So syntax is same. You are going to give the label with value keyword. So label with value and value. So what value you want to give? So you are going to give the label with value keyword and you will give the value. So this is about object aggregate. So both are building JSON document only. This is a single and simple JSON document if I use with JSON object. But I want all the data in a single line, the same JSON data. So I can use JSON object aggregate. Okay. Now comes to the next function, JSON array. JSON array. So then what is the use of JSON array? I will show you. So select employee name from EMP. Here you want to, so here we are having multiple names. If you want to get array of elements, so how it will turn, you see, by using JSON array. So select JSON underscore array, and in brackets you are going to give here only one argument will give the value as so this also treat like JSON document. I am giving alias name from which table? Employee. See, now you are only getting simple values like a JSON document. Here you are not having a label. So JSON array is giving what? It is a giving values, okay, without label, without mentioning label, without label. So that is the use of JSON array. Then what about JSON array aggregate? Quite similar to object aggregate only. So here we are getting what? Multiple rows. So if you want to get all the values in a single row, we use JSON array aggregate. Simple functions. The same syntax, only the value will be giving. Now you see. See, only the values with comma separation I got in a single row. Got it? So this is about JSON object, JSON object aggregate, JSON object, JSON object aggregate, JSON array, and JSON array aggregate. Okay. So now I will go with one more example covering these functions. So I am having two tables. One is what? Department table I am having with department data. Is it? Okay. Now I am having what? There are three departments in this table. So next, I want employee table. So in this, I am having multiple records. Okay. And but here also I am seeing what? Department number wise, I am getting the employees in this table. So now what I want to do is, so I am clubbing the both data in a JSON document. How? So simply I want the requirement like this way. I want department name and employee name in my JSON document. So which is from two tables. So department name is from department table and employee name is from employee table. For this we are using join condition because I am getting data from two tables. So what is the common column in both the tables? Department number. So I am giving d dot department number equal to e dot department number. Okay. Now you see, so this data I want to convert into a JSON document. So here what I am going to see, you see. So here I am using directly JSON object at first. So see JSON object. So now instead of giving the fixed label name, I want to pick the data as a label. So simply I am giving dname as my label. Value should be the employee name. So for employee name also I will give you directly the column name. Okay, now the same, because instead of column names I wrote a JSON document, and now the same data from both the tables, simply alias name I am giving JSON doc, and now you see, now my whole data is converted into a simple JSON document. So now I want to get this more simplified document. How I can? So instead of getting accounting multiple times, I want to get accounting with the list of all the employees in a single line. Research with a list of all the employees in the single line. Sales with a list of all the employees in a single line. I want to get in a single line the same data. But here multiple times it is you are getting the data. So for that purpose, see, I am writing the data in this manner. So JSON object, see here I am going to use JSON object. So in the object itself, the same way I want the department name. But see here instead of directly writing the value, I am using JSON array aggregate, because I want to take list of values. By using array aggregate, what I said, only the values you can get in a list, is it? So that array aggregate I am taking with the employee name. So that means, see, I learned individually the functions, but based on my requirement, I want department name followed by the list of employees. So simply I am done with that. So JSON doc is my alias name from the same query which we build it. So I'm writing in second line. So now you run and see. Yeah, here we got what? We got a single row. We got an error saying that it's not a single group function. So here we are what? As per department name, we are listing the value. That means we are grouping as per department. So we need to add group by class. So group by. So what is your column name? Department name. Simply I am giving department name. Now you run the query. See, earlier we got the data in multiple rows, but we achieved for single label, we are getting the multiple employees working under each label. So this document is more simplified version, is it? Than compared to the above document, is it? So now we bought a simplified document by using JSON object and JSON array aggregate as per the requirement. Clear? Now I will get entire data in a single document. So here what? We got three separate rows, but even I want a single row, all the data. That means in a single document, I want all the data. So how I can get it? So we learned it. So instead of using JSON object, everything is same. Here we are going to use what? JSON aggregate, which will give you individual document into a single document. So instead of getting multiple rows, you are going to get the data into a single document. See, single row document. See, now see how we see the data now. See, now my JSON document is built with a single row. Got it? So this is how we build a JSON format by using JSON functions. Got it? Okay. So this is about JSON functions like JSON object, okay, JSON object aggregate, JSON array, and JSON array aggregate. So now we will see some more example to make you much more clear with JSON concept. So for that purpose, I will create a table, okay, real time by picking a real time data. Okay, so for that purpose, okay, I will first create a table and bring some sample data to load it. Okay, so see now I am creating a table. Create table J underscore purchase order. J underscore purchase order. Okay, I am simply creating a purchase order table with a few columns I will create. ID, number, and one more column with some date. Okay, some like date time. Like that way I'm giving the column name, and I will give timestamp. Instead of giving date data type, I'm giving timestamp. And another one I'm going to build is PO document. So in this column, I am going to store my script. Okay, so for this purpose, I am going to keep varchar2 with the max length. So in varchar2, we can go up to max 4000 characters. So when you are writing data, that means when we are storing data for JSON related columns, so it is better to create one constraint. So for that purpose, I am creating one constraint while creating a table itself, saying that constraint uh, JSON check, simply J underscore CHK, JSON check, JSON check. So check constraint. So what it has to check, it has to validate that this column is a JSON related data. So otherwise, in varchar2, we can store other sort of data which is not scripted also. So before that only, I am restricting the users, saying that this data is only for JSON reader. So for that purpose, what I have written, I have created a constraint. While creating a table itself, I am creating a constraint. Constraint check with this name constraint. Check PO document is JSON. Okay, I am done with the table. Now I will load the, I will create the table. So now see, so now our JSON J purchase order table is created. Okay, now it is empty. So I will bring some sample data in order to some real-time sample data in order to show you how these JSON functions and JSONs are used. Okay, so for this purpose, so I will bring some JSON sample data. Okay, so this is one sample which I already gathered. So see, it is a multi-level document. Okay, simply I am copying this document. So how to insert the data? So normal insert script I am writing. Insert into, so the table name J underscore purchase. So purchase order. Okay, purchase order. So values. So our first two columns are normal columns only, no? So 1 comma, simply sys timestamp I am giving. Okay, this timestamp, because it will record sys timestamp. And the third column I am giving with my JSON data. Okay, now you see. So this is C. This data is a multi-level data. Okay. So see, now I am inserting this multi-level document into my newly created table. Okay, record got inserted. One more record also I will insert so that we can see the difference between the two data. So for that purpose, one more insert I am writing. Insert into, so what is our table name? J underscore purchase order is our table. So I am writing the table name. So values. So here the second one, so I'm inserting at so and so time. So that's why sys timestamp. Okay, and third column, I will bring one more insert. Okay, this is also one sort of a multi-level document. Okay, now I am copying it here in our insert script, and now I am running this. One more record got inserted. Now simply I will check my table. Select star from, what is our table? J underscore purchase order. J underscore purchase order. Okay, my table is ready with data. So two IDs got generated. I'm simply committing because every insert should commit in order to store data permanent. So I'm committing it because my data is loaded successfully. Now I will show you the document. See, now see, our data is stored in the varchar2 format. I will just edit and show you, see how the data of this real-time document looks. See, it is having, see, label with values, not only label with values. See, for some labels, again, it had a child document, is it? So that's why it is like multi-level document. Label followed by multi-level documents. Okay, so if the data is there like this way, what are the benefits for the? See, actually to store this data, we need to require a huge table. That means we require multiple columns to get created in the table. Is it? So instead of creating multiple columns to store the same data, so JSON format is very helpful to keep multiple columns in a single column like a JSON document. And we can retrieve each element of this document from the JSON column very easily. So that scenario now I am going to show you. Okay. So we created the data. Okay. We loaded the data, and now I am going to pick only some elements from this data. So for example, in this data, what we are seeing here, we are seeing PO number, some shipping instructions, etc., etc. So this is related to some items. So I want to pick only the PO number from entire document, because instead of giving this data to in a report, I want to just get PO number from each document. How I can get it? So that is my challenge now. So how to get that data? So for that purpose, see, once our data get loaded in table, so simply see, I am simply giving ID column I want, and the date time column I want, and the next one, I want only the PO number, not full document, not the full document I want. I want only the PO number. For that purpose, simply see PO dot. So what is our column name? PO underscore document, is it? Document dot PO number. Because see, data is always case sensitive. We need to write similar to how the data is there in the data. Column names are not case sensitive. You can write any line. But this we need to follow the exact because it is in the data. So see, I want PO numbers only from the entire document. Simply what we are going to give? So we are going to give that column name dot the element in that column. Okay, from the table. So here we need to use alias name when we are calling JSON document. That is mandatory. So anyhow, I have given alias name as a dot, because although it is a single table, but when we are calling a document, definitely we need a alias name for the table. So that's why simply I am creating giving the alias name, table alias, and I am calling with table alias dot column name dot the single element of that JSON document. Is it? Now see, earlier we stored JSON document, but as per the requirement, I am only just picking the PO number for the document in the report. Is it? So I want one more value from this. So what are the values there in the, again I am checking, see. So I will take few more values from this. So I want the requester in my report. So what I will do? Simply see, I am going to give alias names for that PO number. Alias name is our wish. We can write anything. So now see, one more column I want. So how we will write again? Table name. That means table alias dot PO document column name, and exactly how the element format is. So we need to write requester. Okay. So alias name I am giving requester. Okay. One more thing I want. Okay. Yeah, I want to get shipping instructions. See, shipping instructions again having a child document. So simply first I will give shipping instructions. Okay. So how to give it? Again, table alias, column name. It is not case sensitive, but data is case sensitive. So data, how it is there? Shipping instructions. So I'm just going into the data to get the element, how the format is. So simply I am copying this. Okay, and just calling that. So how it is that? Shipping instructions. So it is having space, no? That's why I am using with double quotes. Okay, simply alias name I will give a shortcut like ship inc instructions, like that, ins. Okay, now see, I picked few elements from the document, not all the entire document I picked. I picked only few elements from that. See now, see, you are able to get PO number, requester, and see shipping details also we are going to get. But here what is the issue? So if there is a multi-level value, you are not getting here. So we will just again focus on our document. Okay, what is our document? So this is our document there in this. Okay, I'm just going to view the document. See, actually shipping instruction, it is null for the first case. Why it is null for the first case? Acha. So we have shipping instructions, special instructions. This is. It's not shipping instructions. So I have taken special instruction. That's why there is null in this. So we got it null it. Okay. We will see for shipping instructions, not the special instruction. So here I have taken special instructions. That is the issue. Okay. So wrongly spelled here. So instead of special, I'm going to use here shipping. Okay. We'll just go and check how the data is shipping instructions. See, exact name I am copying shipping instructions, and now I'm going to keep. So although there is no space, directly I'm writing because in this data there is no space. Okay. Now you see earlier we captured the wrong column. So that's why see even multi-level child also you are getting here in shipping instruction. Is it? See, got it? So I called only shipping instruction. That means in shipping instruction there is a document. Is it? But other elements are normal because they are having single element in the document. But for shipping instructions, we have again a child document. So that document we got it. But again, I want only name from the shipping instruction. I want only name instead of complete document. So how I can get? So same thing you write. Copy this. Now, instead of giving directly shipping instructions, so I will take only the name from the shipping instruction because in the name I'm having the names of the shipping instruction. So simply I'm taking name, and this I will take like shipping instructions name. Okay, Elias. Now see, I said no, always data is case sensitive. So I have given capital name, but in our data, the name is in small letters. So exactly we need to give. Otherwise, it will not pick. That's why I said you. Data is always case. See, now you got the names. Okay. Requester names and the shipping instruction name both are same. Anyhow, because in shipping instructions also we have the same name as the requester's name. So request also Sarah Bell. In shipping instruction also Bell. Got it? So this is how we pull the data from the document. This is now you are aware how we can pull each element from the document. It's very easy by using a alias names. That's all of the elements. Simply by calling each element name with a dot. Clear? Okay. Here in this okay, go and see again. So this is our data. So in this data we are having what? PO number, PO number. And in PO number again we are having what? Line items. Is it? Line item. Okay. So for example, line items I want to put. So same thing, how we call with shipping instructions, we can also call line number from the line item. Okay. But here we have a question. Is it? See, for same line item, we have two different numbers. What happens if we pull line items using? Okay. So I will show this example as well now. So now shipping instruction name, and again I am taking the next element as line items, exactly how it is I am taking. And next I want what? Item number. But here we are having multiple item numbers. What happens you see? So simply I am giving the alias name line items. Yeah, alias name anyhow anything we can give. Now and see what we are getting. So if there are multiple line items, we are getting separately with a array. Is it 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2 comma 3? Got it? But you want to pick only one line item from the entire list. So here comes a new function. See, generally line items we got same child, two childs are there. In parent we have two childs with the same name. So that's why we got 1 comma 2 when we call directly with alias name. That means with the element name. But I want only individual value from the line item. So for that purpose, we have a function called JSON underscore query. So which I have not mentioned in the beginning. So but JSON query is also one of the function we use. Okay. So then what is the use of this JSON query you see? So for this, I will take only the single column which we are digging. So this is the column we are digging. Okay. So for that purpose, I'm simply id comma this column. Okay. Simply line items alias name from what is our table? JSON underscore purchase order. Okay. So we are getting the data by using line items. Okay. We already alias name is there. So 2 times I have written, that is the issue. Okay. We are getting the data. But here, if there are multiple line items, that means if there are multiple documents in a single document, single element, so then you are getting a list of values. But I want only single values separately. So for that purpose, we use JSON query, which makes our work easy. How to use UC? JSON query, how the format is. So in JSON query, we are going to pass first argument as the column and second argument as the elements, followed by okay, one more class called wrapper class with wrapper. So this is the syntax. And in arguments, we are going to use special character called dollar. Okay, and if there are multiple elements, so that's why we need to mention star. Okay, now we will see. So now we will write the same syntax with our JSON column. So what is our JSON column here? PO document. So how we need to call? I said no. Dollar dot. Here we are going to point our line items from the document by using which symbol? Dollar dot and the element what you want. Okay. And we are going to give with wrapper. Okay. So this is the syntax we follow. Okay. Simply I am giving line items as alias name for entire thing. So what is our table? From the table name J underscore purchase order. Okay. Now run and see. See, we are able to get all the data. Is it? We are able to get all the data of the element similar to the normal way how we are pulling the elements. Is it? But our intention is to pick only the single element. Got it? Our intention is to pick a single element. But here, by default, even if you are not mentioning anything, it is pulling all the data. But we can also mention here, I want only the first element. So if I mention 1, what happened you see? So generally element starts from 0. Okay, if I mention 0, so it will give me the first element in the list. See, if I use 0, I am getting the first element, first line number. And next one, see, if I use 1, I am going to get the second element. That means second element. I will try to use 2. Now you see. So we got null for the first record and 3 for the second one. Why? Why? Because see, we don't have third element in the first line, is it? See, 1 comma 2 1. So that means first position we will call with 0, second position we will call with 1, and third position we will call with 2. So that means we can also, so if I keep star, what happens? So star means you will be getting all the data. Okay, you will be getting all the elements of that. That means all the values of that element. Is it? So that's why I said no, by default, if you don't use star also, it will treat like star only. Okay, so this similar to how we pull with alias. Is it? So again, I will show you how I wrote the syntax. See what I wrote here, simply JSON document. So in the JSON query, we have 2 arguments. So first argument is the JSON column, and second argument is what? We are going to call with a dollar symbol dot the element name with wrapper class we are going to write. So this is mandatory with the wrapper. Okay, and because we are getting C square brackets, is it? So that is called the wrapper. Okay, so if you don't mention any value here in the square bracket, so it is going to give all the values as we see. If you mention 0, it is going to give only the first element from the item list. And with the wrapper is nothing but the square. Clear? This is about JSON query, and in order to pick each value from a multi-level document, so JSON query is very helpful. Okay, and next coming to the other function called JSON equal. So this function came into picture after 18C version. Okay, after 18C version of Oracle database. So that's why this JSON equal function, as I am using 12C version, it is not we are not able to execute JSON equal function in this 12C version. So I will show you one example JSON equal in 19C, because it is after 18C. It is a Oracle 19C version. Okay, as it is a Oracle 19C version, so JSON equal comes into picture from 18C version. It's a new function. So I'm going to show you with example on this 19C version. So for that purpose, what I'm saying, see, I am taking the data like a JSON and I will compare it with JSON function. So for that purpose, so I will show you with example how we compare the JSON columns. Okay. So simply I am taking sample data. For example, yeah, which we created early, employee name. So the label name, and next one, the value. Okay, I am taking 2 values like this. One is like Ajay. Okay, and another 2 values like equal values I will take, like Raghu, the other one also the Raghu. Okay, so these are basic elements. This also Raghu. Okay, so for that purpose, see here I am using a case statement. Okay, in order to verify the JSON. So here select case when so directly I am using the function JSON equal. Okay, JSON equal and see JSON equal. Here I am going to just mention these elements. Okay. Okay. So simply in JSON equal, we will have two arguments. So which values you want to compare? So equal is nothing but you are comparing with this function. So you can keep two values. One is data. So that means two JSON values you can compare by using JSON equal. So first element I have given. Second element I am giving with differently, like Ajay. Okay. So this is the element. So what I'm saying, case when JSON equal. So this will be true when both the values are same. Okay. So if it is true, then you can write match. Else, else not match. So every case statement end with end from what is our table? So here dummy table on dual table, because we know we are not creating on table. We are not running on table. So simply JSON check or something like that way I'm keeping the alias. So now see after checking the two values, see as it is by looking at itself, it is not matching. So that's why by using JSON equal, we can find out whether matched or not matched. So if I give same values, then what happens? You see, this I will give same as first argument. So then you will get what? Match. That means JSON equal will return true or false based on the values matched or not matched. That too, this function is only useful for JSON columns. Clear? Okay. So this is about JSON equal, which is used to compare two JSON columns. Clear? So this is about JSON equal. Okay. So what we have covered? So we have covered what is JSON and what are the functions used to handle JSON data. So just on a recap, what are the functions we learned? JSON object, JSON array aggregate, first one object aggregate, JSON object aggregate, JSON array, JSON array aggregate, JSON query, and finally we have seen JSON equal. So JSON equal start in usage from 18C version. Okay. Okay. So this is about JSONs used in Oracle.